Good morning, gang. Happy Friday. Okay, we got another one in the long list of stupidity coming out of this administration. Shouldn't surprise anybody. if it doesn't make sense, that's what the Biden administration wants to make rules, regulations, laws, etc., etc. You guys know about the trying to ban gas stoves, uh, wood stoves, wood heaters, ceiling fans, God knows what, all because we have to save energy, we have to save the planet, climate change, yada yada yada, right? Well, we got a new one, and this one has something to do with water. Now, you and I are all going to agree that we need to conserve water. We all try to keep our water bill down. The fact that clean water is not always readily accessible. In an SHTF situation, it's certainly not going to be accessible. But this is where it gets stupid. Now, we all know that we have restricted flow shower heads, right? We've had those for 20, 30 years or whatever it is, and you can't get any water pressure in a shower. So they've done everything to change all that around. Well, we've got used to it. We all know about toilets that had to have their tanks reduced. So now it takes 2 flushes to get stuff down sometimes, right? Because it just doesn't work. The latest attack that we have from the Biden administration is on dishwashers. So if you're looking at building a house or something, or replacing a dishwasher, you might have a problem. Okay. The Biden administration wants to restrict the amount of water that a dishwasher can use. Silly, huh? I'm going to give you how silly it is. I looked this up. The average dishwasher uses about 3 gallons of water to wash a load of dishes. Wash cycle, rinse cycle, whole 9 yards. 3 gallons to do a load of dishes. Okay. If you wash dishes by hand, it takes, on average, again, I looked this up, about 20 gallons of water. They want to reduce the amount of water that a dishwasher uses and make this a regulation. Which, of course, means what? Just like the toilets, the dishwasher won't work as well. Okay? So what does that mean? Now maybe you have to run the dishwasher twice, which means, okay, I'm still going to use the same amount of water, but because that dishwasher's now got to run for somewhere between 60 and 90 minutes, and the heating element, etc., that means I'm going to use twice the amount of electricity that I had to. So where does this work? Like everything else in the Biden administration, it doesn't. This is an issue. You go and you look at this and you think, okay, what am I going to have to do then? Well, I'm going to have to basically wash my dishes by hand first using 20 gallons of water, so then I can put them in the dishwasher to use 3 gallons of water. Now, most of us are smart enough to know that you don't put food in the dishwasher. You rinse off the spaghetti noodles or the leftover broccoli that the kids didn't eat, or God forbid somebody put okra on my plate. And you put it in the dishwasher. You don't have to go through the sink first and wash everything off and then put it in the dishwasher. Okay. So, again, we have another one of the idiotic Biden-esque regulations that is waste more because, oh my God, we've got to appease somebody. I don't know if he's got lobbyists or whatever in the appliance industry that are pushing him on this, but just like everything else, this is what's going to come of it. It's going to make new appliances more expensive and less efficient. That's like completely anti-American. I mean, if you want to know why capitalism is dying in this country, it's because of stuff like this. For history, this country has all been about building a better mousetrap and competitiveness. I build a better product than my competitor. I sell it for less than my competitor. I stay in business. They go out of business. Or they try to compete with what I've made. I mean, look at it. Look at the ebbs and flows in the car industry, for example. Ford, GM, Chrysler. Let's go back to the 70s in American Motors, okay, when we had the big four. American Motors couldn't keep up, okay? They couldn't make a product that was as high quality for as good of a price that people wanted to buy as the other three. They went out of business, okay? That's what Joe's winding up trying to do here, and I want everybody to understand this. There are dozens of manufacturers of washing machines, dishwashers, refrigerators, whatever, okay? A lot of them will turn out to be, just like everything else, the exact same model built by the same company, just with a different name slapped on. Slap on Amana, slap on Frigidaire, slap on Maytag. Each one of them has the exact same model with different name tags on it, okay? And they'll sell it for different prices. This is a Frigidaire. This is better than everything else, except it's the exact same dishwasher or washing machine as an Amana, for example. Okay. It just happens to be $100 more because of the nameplate on it. You know, go back. Oh God, this has got to go back to the 80s. Go back to the Cadillac Cimarron, if anybody remembers that. And I mean, it was a Chevy Cavalier with a Cadillac nameplate on it and leather seats. Okay, it just happened to be 20% more expensive or whatever it was, you know, just because it had a Cadillac name tag on it. Obviously, the Cimarron did not last. Okay, people realized real quick it's still a Chevy. But this is what we're getting into. I mean, we're going to restrict the use of our propane, natural gas, whatever. We're going to restrict the use of our electricity. We're going to restrict the use of our water. So we're going to make the people suffer. And again, the government wants to put businesses out of business. That's their intent. Realize this. This is what this comes to. Think about the banking industry. We've talked about this. We've heard we're going to be down to the big six. Some people have said down to 2 banks. It's easier for the government to control 2 banks or 6 banks, right, and make them do their bidding. We're down to 1 or 2 airlines, 1 or 2 automakers, 1 or 2 appliance makers. And all of a sudden, you don't have a private industry. You have an industry that is controlled by the government. You know, you're the only one that makes this. Think I'm kidding. How many times have we seen in the last couple of years, say, Mark Zuckerberg or Elon Musk or pick whoever from Google sitting in front of Congress? Countless times, right? And Congress is telling them what to do. Why? Because they're the only ones that do what they do. There's a couple of social media companies, and so the government can control them. Well, when there's only a couple of airlines, which there already are, we see the airline executives in front of Congress. When there's only a couple of automakers, we see GM, Ford, Chrysler in front of Congress. When's the last time you saw the grocery store CEOs in front of Congress? There used to be a lot more grocery stores. They've been working on shrinking that pool too. Okay. Now you're going to have the appliance makers. When's the last time you saw an appliance maker CEO in front of Congress? You don't, because there's too many of them. They can't control them. So they are doing whatever they can to reduce the pool, so then when it's down to 1 or 2, the government can tell them what to do. It's time we start telling the government what to do again. Okay, I've said this many times. They need to be reminded that we don't work for them. They are not our overlords. They are not our rulers. They work for us. They are our employees. They seem to have forgotten that. It's about damn time we remind them. Pinball out.